Angry guy here, and women are being forced to become homeless. Women are being forced to become homeless. This is a reality that a lot of women are living in now. This is a real feel good story. I'm going to go ahead and just share this with you. So, as you guys can see on the screen, a lot of these young women are now being forced back into the streets from whence they came. My landlord doubled my rent days before Christmas. I could become homeless. Like I said, it's a feel good story. This comes from the New York Post. A 28-year-old singer, mother, and a registered nurse, that just makes me feel better about it, in Perth, Australia, has had her landlords more than double her weekly rent in a disastrous move just days before Christmas. In an emotional video shared on TikTok, of course, that's where they all share it. Must be a young Gen, it must be a young millennial or a Gen Zer. That's how they roll these days. In an emotional video shared on TikTok, Jackie Brooking spoke of her dire living situation, which could leave her and her son homeless by New Year. Brooking began her video by revealing the harsh reality she is facing after residing in her rental home for the past 6 years. She explained her property was, until recently, a part of the National Rental Affordability Scheme. Gotta love scheme. Aimed at reducing rental costs for low income earners at least 20% below market rent. The house was recently sold, and the new owners didn't want to go ahead with the same low income scheme, she explained. The consequences of the decision was a staggering increase in rent, soaring from $200 to a crippling $430 per week. Oh, poor baby. Brooking, in tears, wearing Christmas themed nursing scrubs, expressed her desperation, saying, I obviously can't afford to pay that. I feel so effing stupid doing this. ASHI, and you know what the last letter is. The single mother detailed her efforts to secure alternative housing, only to face rejection after rejection. As her lease approaches, it's it ends on January 1st. Brooking found herself in a precarious position. The limited availability of NRA's properties complicated her search, leaving her stuck between being a low income existing tenant and not meeting the criteria as a new tenant. Brookings said she reached out to her real estate agent, explained the looming threat of homelessness for herself and her son, but the response was callous, with the agent, who has not been named, threatening legal action if she didn't vacate the premise by the specified date. I just don't know what I'm meant to do, she said. This is literally so embarrassing. Like I said, from the streets they came, to the streets they shall return. She said the logistics of finding accommodation for her beloved cat and dog and a storage unit for their belongings added another layer of stress. Brooking turned to her audience asking for suggestions. What she's really asking for is money. The comment section overflowed with sympathetic messages condemning the challenging housing situation in Perth. Some offered practical advice, suggesting she contact the state tenancy board for assistance. Perth, in particular, has earned the uninevitable title of Australia's toughest city for renters in 2023. ProTrack data revealed this year that 9 of the nation's 10 most competitive suburbs for rentals are located in Perth, even as demand in other cities decreases. The Bentley area, in particular, stands out with an astonishing average of 160 competitors per rental listing, triple the levels recorded in other Australian capitals. The NRAs began in 2008 under the Rudd government and will end in 2026. So, like I said, this is a feel good story. Santa Claus gave us this one for Christmas. Thank you, Santa. Well, listen, there's no Santa. There's only Jesus. Jesus, the Son of God. So thank you, Jesus. So, some of the comments: base pay for a registered nurse is $35 to $44 in Australia. That's unbelievable. That's really darn high. That's the base pay. So she's making a minimum of 70,000 to 70,000 to almost $90,000 a year. This says, let's assume she works 16 hours a week, 2 days, and is completely a 40 and is compensated at $40 an hour. She would net about $640 a week. Maybe she should just work a third workday or five like a normal person. And I got 28 likes. Geoff said, I wonder if she is an RN. She could just be a bedpan changer or an aide at a senior's facility. They make much less, but they call themselves nurses quite often. So that is true. That is very, very true. And another comment says, there are people ripping on a working mother, saying she has to work more. How old is her kid? Is she the primary caregiver? Maybe she can't easily afford a babysitter, working full time and housing simultaneously. Some even say she must have voted blue without any evidence from this article suggesting she did. Guys, let me just to be honest, to me this sounds like what conservatives vote for when they mandate pregnancy. This woman chose to continue pregnancy and raise a child without help. If she did happen to vote conservatively, she would have locked single and unexpected parents into her um, into her situation, which she did by choice. I hope rather than by legal mandate of her government. Anyway, so this person's an idiot, guys. The point I'm trying to make is that this woman, she made a decision for herself that has placed her in this situation, and of course, when these women do these things, they then suddenly want someone to come in and bail them out of their bad decisions, the same way women are bailed out of every bad decision that they make. I personally am not crying for her. I'm not saying that anyone should run in and try to save the princess. It's crazy though. This really is a small world because I've known multiple people that live in Perth and I've never been to Australia. But it is something else how these women, these are the choices that they make. These are the results of feminism. Many of these women who were once married, but they did not do everything in their power to ensure that their marriages would last, because women don't understand the value of having a good man. Men are so valuable. Most men don't understand the value of having a good man. Like there's a lot of dudes who are like, don't understand when you have a good man in your life, when you have a man with a friend, or a couple of good friends. Men are a resource. It's during hard times when it's your boys that will support you. It's your boys that will pull you out of hardship. But here's the thing: you need to respect your boys. As men, we must respect our boys. Never, ever, ever put a woman over the boys. Because when your life starts to fall apart, it's the boys who will have your back, unless you're an idiot who invested all your time into the woman. I'll put it this way: the woman is supposed to be a side piece in your life. Men should not be marrying at this point. If you have a good woman and you have a nice place to live and you have the boys, here's how it works. You bring the boys over whenever you feel like having the boys over. The woman must be respectful to the boys. If the boys are thirsty, she must get them a drink. If the boys are hungry, she must get them food. She must not upset the boys in any way whatsoever. And if there is a problem in the end where she doesn't like the boys, well, then unfortunately, you need to separate with the woman. This is A lot of men don't comprehend this. Women are temporary in our lives. The friendships that we have, if we have good friendships, good male friendships, do not lose those friendships. Women are not important in our lives. I see pictures of some men who have stuck together for 30, 40 years, and they take pictures for like 30, 40 years. They've been taking pictures for like last 40 years. And those friendships last. Those are the friendships that will get you through hardships in life because we all have ups and downs. Women, Women won't get us through anything. They're the ones who will take us through these things, put us through these things. We were not put here on God's green earth to be used and taken advantage of by these individuals who are heartless and merciless and don't see us as human beings, but see us as utilities that they can exploit for their own joy and narcissism. Men have to realize that nothing lasts forever, and the evil acts of these harpies is going to come to an end eventually. I told you that with wave two of M2, it's going for everyone. Everyone's going to get it. It's going to be so bad. There are going to be guys just sitting around laughing about it because everyone's going to get it. Everyone. Leo had his fun in Hollywood. Leo had his fun in Hollywood. They're coming for Leo. They're gonna come hard for Leo. They're gonna go hard for Leo. They see Leo out here enjoying himself, going around his 19-year-old girlfriends, dumping them when they turn 25. They're gonna come for Leo. They're gonna come for Leo. All right, they're coming for everyone. Okay, everyone's been on borrowed time, so they're coming for everyone. They're gonna have a lot of fun with it. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be insane in the membrane. Women are being forced to become homeless. I want to know what you guys think regarding this in the comments. So let me know what you think about this, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.